and you're like, wow, what's happening here? You got
Mhm.
to look at the context of what's happening. What did he say before? What did he say after? What's happening in the story? So, I mean, you read that and it's like, yikes, but there's hope.
Absolutely, there's hope.
There's so much
And
hope
Paul
there.
will go on to talk
For
about
sure.
how God is going to use the Gentiles to actually draw the Jews back to him,
Right.
you know?
I mean, you
So
think
it's not
about,
like there's this lost cause. God just like wrote people off and
no
said,
way.
"Forget you."
Right.
It's like God's like, "Okay, you didn't want a relationship this way, so I'm going to provoke you another way to
Which
try to
that makes it
get
sound
you
like he's
to
manipulating, and he's not.
yeah,
God's not going to manipulate.
draw
He's
you in."
draw
Yeah.
you in,
Yeah,
right?
not provoke, but draw
Right.
you. That's a
No, but I understood what you
old
were saying.
that's an old like King James version
Right.
term.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
think that we have to think about, okay, so what Paul had to have been feeling in this moment. It makes me think about that weird shift between like in middle school. And it always like happened over the summer. Like everybody's like chill doing whatever. And then they come back and your friend group changes. Because all of a sudden people start living different lifestyles. There's freedom that a lot of them
Mhm.
have experienced. There's some parents that are really chill and they're like, "Oh, we don't have the same rules." And then there's other parents that remain really, really strict. And then there's the in between. And you've got all these kids that last year they were all friends. And
Yeah.
now, whether it is lifestyle, whether it is hobbies, sports, whatever, they begin to shift and go into different friend groups, right?
Mhm.
But the thing that I think is the hardest is not, well, he's into baseball and I'm into football, so we're not on the same schedule or whatever anymore. I think the thing that's hardest is your friends that were your friends and everybody just kind of did the same thing, and you start seeing friends that start making choices that were different than yours. I remember
Yeah.
experiencing that as a kid. But I remember our kids experiencing that with their friends. And I would say, we were like, "Hey, why we haven't seen so and so in a while?" And they were like, "That's not. We don't really hang out anymore. They're not. We're not into the same things, or they're not who they used to be." And I think about that when you think about what Paul was doing, and at that moment of where you feel like, man, I'm the only one that's doing what's right, or what
Mhm.
some of the people that were following Jesus, the way they had to have looked at it. And it's so easy to look around and go, we're a minority in this.
Mhm.
And that's so discouraging and that's so hard. And why are these people not seeing the truth? Why are they not turning, like, it's right here in front of them? Why can't they see it? And that's what Paul is addressing.
Mhm. Well, and you said that right from the beginning, that where's Paul's heart at
Hmm.
in this whole thing? And if we just go back again, one chapter back, Paul says, I wish that I would be cut off from Christ
If it
if
meant,
it meant that they would get to
right,
know the
right.
Lord, so that's where his heart
For
is.
sure, for
He's
sure.
not like,
But it's still in that moment you see his humanity and he's explaining it as well. It was like, why can they not see the truth?
yeah.
And we've all been there when you're in a place of clarity and a place of hope, and your relationship with God is going really well, and you have family or friends that they're just not there. It's easy to go, why can't they see what I see? Why
Mhm.
are they not pursuing what I'm pursuing? I don't understand. And I think that so relates to this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.